In this tutorial, I'll tell you most of the things you'll ever need to know about SAP or about debugging. So let's go straight into the problem. C38 will open. Let's pick a very difficult program. This is a pretty, slightly moderately complicated program. So let's see. So now I always put the object list because it makes it easy to navigate. So you can actually put a breakpoint right here, or you can actually find all these breakpoints set. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all these breakpoints, and I'm going to start with a very different approach. I'm going to hit run, get the variant. The variant saves the test data, and right before running I'm going to do /h. This is useful. Sometimes you do not have access, you don't know where the source code is, you only know the transaction name. Then /h will enable the debug mode. When you run, it'll jump straight into the debugger even if you don't have any debug any breakpoints inside. But in this case, since it already had deep breakpoints inside, it took us inside the big instead of going step by step, it took us directly into those breakpoints. I'll show you again next time. I'll remove these breakpoints, okay, and then we'll see how it happens. But anyway, since we're already here, let's see what we can do. So we have these desktop 1, desktop 2, and 3. Desktop 2 is special because it shows you the events. What happened first? What happened second? This is the call stack. If you are familiar with a little bit of operating system or how program runs, there's something called call stack. That means what calls what. The first thing is PAI screen, process after input screen, number 1000. And the name of the program is SAP PM-sysc. That means this is the first screen, the selection screen where we enter data. This is handled by SAP, standard SAP program. And if you use selection screens, then by default the selection screen number is 1000. Then this is also still outside, so SAP is handling this event. Here, number 3, we get into the actual program. The event is called start of selection. This is the event, start of selection. And then we have a form called entry. Entry calls another form called processing, and processing calls another form called get job, IDFI from name. So don't worry about these names. Just think selection screen, then the event start of selection, then a form entry which calls a form called processing and which calls a form called get job, IDFI. Actually, I can take you to the source code and show you how it exactly happened. So you go to events, this is the source code, okay. Go to start of selection. No, this is a different program actually, very similar but different. You know what? Let's go to the exact program, right? Why go to a different program? Sorry. 38. This is the program display. I always get this out. Click on events, click on start of selection. First start of selection does a bunch of things, but these are not forms. These are just statements. Statements don't appear in the call stack. See, this is entry. First you perform entry. Inside entry a few things happens. they don't show up in the call stack because they are only forms and events show up in the call stack. And processing, if you then access delivery data was the form, but we came out of it. It happened, done. So now we are here, double click here, and we're inside a statement of this. So go back to the debugger. So this is the call stack. Okay, now we're here. Let's see what's once inside the debugger. You can still delete breakpoints or set breakpoints by just double clicking here, but whatever you do will vanish. If you set a breakpoint here, next time when you run the program, this breakpoint will not exist next time. So you have to hit save. Anyway, I'm not going to save this. We're actually going to delete this. Also going to delete this guy, and we're going to hit save and see that next time these breakpoints don't exist. Okay, now here's a problem. Let's double click sy sub rc. Okay, we're going to copy this, Control C, desktop 1. Actually, I like desktop 3 because desktop 3 is vertical. I paste this and see the value is 4. It means, why is it 4? Because this select statement failed in SAP, and everything that fails sets this variable. This is a variable accessible, it's a system variable. Every program has access to it. You don't have to write any code for it. In the background, whenever there is select statement failed in the background. Do you have